He shall bring again David to sit upon his throne in the last day. It is written in Revelation 1. The root of David and the bright and morning star. Revelation 5 declare, turn aside from everything that found worthy to walk the seven seals. No man in heaven, neither above the heaven. No one under the earth, nor up on the earth, did found worthy. Seven seals. Yes, he was found worthy. Upon the throne of David. Turn aside from everything that Revelation declare it, 17. And it's titled King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Isaiah 43 declares, I am he and there is none beside me. In the beginning there was no God, neither shall be any after her. Rastafari, the Holy Father, Mother. Turn aside from everything that I gave Egypt for thy ransom. Hit the whole chance. You are my witnesses to prove and to know. I am your creator, your king, the Holy One of Israel. Bring my son from far.
Greetings.
Greetings. As promised, we have the Right Honorable Ras Kalonji in the house with us. You know what I mean? And, I will let, the Right Honorable Ras Kalonji, just tell you a little bit about who is Ras Kalonji. Who is Ras Kalonji, Honorable, before we get started in, the questions about you going to Ethiopia. So just let the audience know, let I people know, who is Ras Kalonji?
Well, Ras Kalonji basically is a brethren a Rasta man, you know, from ever since. And when I went to the United States in 1979, Brooklyn, I got into the struggle. A matter of fact, I went to Brooklyn on the 18th of April 1979, and it was a Wednesday.
Mm.
And by the Saturday that same week, my brother took me to see Stokely Carmichael, better known as Kwame Ture, at the East in Brooklyn. And
Mm.
basically, I had no idea who he was or what it was, but it was all about black struggle. So I'm just trying to show you my beginnings, basically, in when I went to the United States.
Sure.
So in living in Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, you know what I mean, there was a lot of black consciousness activity happening. So basically, as a Rasta man, I got involved in the struggle. So from ever since, you could say 1979, I've been in the struggle for the liberation of black people, not only
Same.
in the United States, but globally.
That's
And
what's up.
yes, and coming in contact with brothers like one of my teachers, who really grounded me in the struggle of African liberation was Brother Ilombe Brad, you know. Uh, a brother, very knowledgeable brother, and uh, a brother who knows so much about the African liberation struggle, who have been it for, decades, and also coming
Mm.
in contact with my comrades from the December 12th movement, family in New York 8, where the United States government frame them and try to say that they are terrorists and they want to overthrow the United States government. But those are my grounded in terms of the liberation for black people globally, because we have a global perspective and we have a worldview that basically says that African people is one people and we have to struggle to liberate our people globally. So that's basically, you know, a little history about myself,
So
Ras Kalonji.
that's when you was a part of the December 12th movement here.
Exactly. We started out
Oh,
before the December 12 movement. We had the black men movement against crack. We used to march on crack houses in Brooklyn. When
okay.
we march on the crack house, the black men movement against crack, the police come at us instead of closing the
See.
crack house. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What I must say, knowledge and experience that I man have probably say you could say over 40 years of struggle,
Sure,
you know,
sure, sure,
from them time to
sure.
this time. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And the
sir.
struggle continues now where we see now imperialism and the fascist forces want to, you know, turn back all the gains that African people have made. So we got to double down and struggle again because this is the final phase of the struggle for us because we're in the neo-colonial period as Kwame and Nkrumah talk about. So this is the final stage and we have to double down because the imperialist forces is coming head on at us. You know what I mean? You could see what Mr. Trump, Hitler in the second manifestation is doing. So brothers
Mm-hmm.
and sisters, the struggle is real. So we
It
gotta
is,
get
it is,
serious and get
it
organized.
is. Yes, sir. So, I and I, ever since I've met this virgin, Ras Kalonji, my visit to St. Kitts or living in St. Kitts from 1999, you know, um, I met this Ras here and he opened my eyes to a lot of things, you know what I mean? He educated me about the bourgeoisies and, just show me things that I didn't knew at that time. So I give thanks for this Regina, that, he's one of my teachers, I could say, within the Rastafari movement,
Yeah,
seemingly,
and I learned them things from my comrades in the December 12th movement and Brother
Movement.
Ilombe
Yeah.
Brat and some more remarks, man. so much brothers, you know what I mean? Dr.
True.
Ben, Dr. Clark, James Small, I know all of them. You know what I mean?
Uh,
So what I'm trying to show our people is that it's good to study Marxism too. A lot of brothers don't understand Marxism, but and Mao Zedong, you know what I mean? The
mm,
Chinese Revolution, you know what I'm saying? The Russian Revolution, you know. I study those things, so that's why I have a clear analysis, not an analysis of paralysis, but a real analysis of what is taking place
that is it.
globally. You know, and
Talk to me.
I understand imperialism and the fascist forces. They could only say something and I don't know which direction they're going. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Because by studying these things and studying our story, our history, definitely that the fascist and imperialist forces never stop struggling to not only colonize, but what they want to do now in this era is re-enslave our people. And that's the real deal, brothers and sisters.
yes, sir. And as a prominent figure within the Rastafari community in St. Kitts, that I was chosen, to forward to Ethiopia for the African Summit that previously went in September. And you was actually chosen to go with the government delegate of St. Kitts. Tell us how that came about and how you got to, be chosen to go as part of the delegation.
Well, what really happened is that this summit that took place in Ethiopia was the second African Union CARICOM Summit. The first one was when they had COVID, so it wasn't face to face, it was by Zoom, right? The first
Mm,
summit
yeah,
was in
yeah, it
2020,
was
that was in
Zoom.
COVID, yeah. So it was by Zoom, but this was the first face to face one. So being a member of the reparations committee for St. Kitts, this summit focused on reparation. So all the prime ministers, the delegation from CARICOM, they needed people who were members who took part in the reparation struggle for CARICOM. So because we was dealing with reparations, I was selected by the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, being part of the reparation committee to go on the trip to the summit in Ethiopia. So that's why I was selected.
Great, great, great. And it was good that, the government actually chose, a member from the Rastafari community saying where to even forward, you know what I mean? And, even bring forward now as we here doing, a report, about
Yeah,
how things went.
basically, the prime minister said he needed a Rasta man.
Yes,
He said
yes,
that's what he
yeah.
did. And, me and he go way back. You know what I'm
Same.
saying? We know each other from since I came home in 1996. So we go way back. He used to come by the store and we read on different issues even before he went to Cuba to study. So
Mm.
looking at it, I think it's me he wanted to go. Tell you the
Same,
truth, my
same,
bedroom.
same.
Because I'm a member of the committee and it's me he really wanted to go and the truth. That's the way I
Sure.
see
Well, I think he chose the right person to go. You know what I mean?
it.
He couldn't choose
Same,
another better person than the eye. You know what I mean? Because the eye
same.
definitely is a full representation of that. You've been pushing reparations even before reparations was a thing. You know what I
But
mean? And
let me give you a story. When I came home in 1996, I used to talk a lot about reparation because in 1993, in the Black Power Conference that the December 12th movement had, I was chosen as the chairman of the reparations committee. So that's why
yeah,
basically I knew about reparations. But what happened is that Sister Colette was supposed to be the chair, but she had to go to Geneva. She and Roger had to go to Geneva for the Human Rights Conference in Geneva, in Switzerland.
mm,
So because they had to go to Geneva, they chose me to be the chairman. So that's how I got involved in the reparation struggle from ever since them
Oh,
time.
okay.
Yeah.
True, 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 true. Yeah, so tell us some more about that trip now that you took to Ethiopia. How was it like? I know you went from one place to one place. Was How was it? How was it when you got there?
It was
Actually, the
great, but
process to get there.
I want to give some historical background,
Uh-huh.
before we go into that. The
Okay,
second
no problem.
Africa, the second Africa-CARICOM Summit has brought together African nations, Caribbean states, and the global African diaspora to strengthen unity, deepen integration, and jointly pursue reparations and reparatory justice through a comprehensive transcontinental partnership framework under the theme Transcontinental Partnership in Pursuit of Reparatory Justice for Africans and the people of African descent through reparations. The Africa-CARICOM Summit is a gathering of African and Caribbean leaders aimed at strengthening the historic ties between the two regions and turning past injustices, including slavery and colonization, into opportunities for solidarity, cooperation, and reparative justice. The summit focuses on political, economic, social, and cultural collaboration, advancing trade, investment, innovation, youth engagement, and shared development. The summit seeks to coordinate efforts on reparations for more global advocacy, reform multi-dimensional institutions, and ensure that Africa and the Caribbean speak with one voice on the international stage. The summit also emphasized building lasting partnership that uplift future generations, address structural inequalities, and create shared prosperity, well-being, and progress. The summit highlighted the deep historic ties between Africa and the Caribbean. They emphasized solidarity, cooperation, and reparative justice while outlining shared goals in trade, investment, innovation, and youth engagement, and called for a united voice on the global stage to advance prosperity and equity for all peoples of African descent. So that's
The
basically a historical background about what the summit was about.
summit is all about. Yes, I. Yes, I. So give us now, your take on how you saw things went in Ethiopia in regards to that summit. Your
Mm,
travels and all that.
yeah, well, what happened? We left here, we left St. Kitts and we went to the United States. We went Miami. So you could say
Oh,
three,
okay.
4 hours. From
Okay.
Miami, we took Turkish Airlines to Turkey, 11 hours. And
Okay.
from Turkey to Ethiopia, 5 hours. So you could say basically round it off at 20 hours flying time.
Oh, okay. So you was basically traveling for like a day just to get there.
Bas- Basically,
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
I
Basically,
hear
yeah.
that. I hear that.
In terms
Yeah.
of travel, in terms of being
Same.
in the air, yeah.
Sure.
So we got into Ethiopia from Turkey around, you could say around 2:30 Ethiopian time in the morning,
Okay.
Ethiopian time.
Gotcha.
And Ethiopia is 7 hours ahead of the Caribbean, our time here in St. Kitts and Nevis. So
Mm.
whatever the time is now, like 7:30, so you add 7 hours to that.
Yes. So
And
it's
that
like
will
two
be
something in the morning right now, 2:30.
exactly.
Yes,
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Ethiopia is 7 hours ahead. And
Okay.
we went to Ethiopia. The summit was held in September. And September is the new year. in Ethiopia.
Mm.
And
Mm.
basically it was winter time also. It
Mm.
was winter in Ethiopia. You
See,
understand? But when you say winter, you don't get cold like say where you at there in New York.
like a New York, like
Yeah,
a New York, yes.
the temperature, I don't think it's gonna be like 30 degrees. You
Oh,
see?
okay,
You know,
okay,
because
okay.
anything below 30 is freezing. You know, but
Yeah,
it was cold, but you know, we couldn't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? It was
yeah.
nice and cool, and Ethiopia, brother, is a beautiful place.
I hear that.
Beautiful
I
place.
hear that. I
And
hear that.
that is where mankind originated. You know,
True,
that is the
true,
cradle of humanity, the cradle of civilization. So,
true.
you know, Africa being there, but Ethiopia in particular, you know, is where humanity started.
So at what point now, because you got there, say for instance, you got there in 1960,
Why, you freeze?
was there,
Okay.
you know,
Or you just
a
freeze up?
itinerary already in plan for
No,
you? You heard the question?
you just freeze it. Rephrase the question.
Oh, okay. What I was saying
Yes.
is, did you have an itinerary in place already? True, you was with the government. So when you got there, you know, after 2 in the morning, when you rise up the next day, you know, what did you do? You know, what was the itinerary?
Well, what happened is that all the delegation that had people who was guiding us.
Oh,
So, like
okay.
you said, so for instance, when we got to Ethiopia, somebody, a representative from Ethiopia for the summit came and met us at the airport.
Airport.
They had our names. The delegation from St.Kitts. They had our names. So was me, a brother from Foreign Affairs. What his name? I can't even remember his name. And the Foreign Minister, Dr. Denzel Douglas. Three of us left
Okay.
from St. Kitts, went to Miami and straight to from
Turkey.
Turkey and then to Ethiopia. So
Okay.
the representative met us from Ethiopia. The representative met us at the airport. So
Okay.
what happened now is that the other brothers and sisters with the prime minister, they were in they went to another conference
I think
in
it's
Algiers.
Algeria.
In
Algeria.
Algeria. Yeah.
Yes,
So there
they
was in
went to
Algeria
Algeria.
there was in Algeria before. So they met us,
Yeah.
they came from Algeria to Ethiopia the
Mm.
next day. You
Okay,
understand?
okay,
So they
okay,
met us
okay.
in
And then you
Ethiopia.
met up with.
Yeah, because the reason why they had the meeting in Algeria, it was about health. You
Mm.
understand? So the PS from health and the prime minister and his PS and I think his security was in Algeria. So they met us
Okay.
the following day when we reached Ethiopia. The following day they met us in Ethiopia, and
Oh,
from
okay.
that point, like I said, the delegation we have a they had an itinerary, as you said. So everywhere that we had to go as a delegation.
Mm.
So we always had
Mm.
somebody escorting us and showing us around and different places that
Okay.
we had to go.
So tell us about some of those places that you went to in
Well,
you
the
know
second day,
Ethiopia itself.
yeah, the
Uh-huh.
second day, what happened is that they had different forums taking place. A matter of fact,
Okay.
me and the sister, the PS for the Prime Minister, she called me up on the phone and we went to the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, right? So we
Mm.
went there and we met other people from CARICOM who was at the African Union. And what happened is that we had lunch because it was nothing, it was just like a gathering. You understand?
Okay.
So we had lunch there and then we left from there. We went to another gathering where this was about CARICOM and brothers and sisters from the Caribbean who live in Ethiopia. You understand? So I'm gonna give you
Mm.
some information about that. That basically was uh, about bridging communities, strengthening Caribbean Africa relations through diaspora engagement, climate innovation, cultural and interfaith diplomacy. Holy Trinity, Holy Trinity Cathedral Conference Hall, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. CARICOM Nationals in Ethiopia Organizing Committee in association with CARICOM United African Youths Organizations, Youth, Young Marine Explorers, YME Bahamas, and the Sixth Regional African Diaspora Alliance. So it was a meeting from brothers and sisters from the Caribbean or from the diaspora who live in Ethiopia. And we had a gathering there with different CARICOM nationals from CARICOM, the delegation from CARICOM, and brothers and sisters who from the Caribbean are the diaspora living in Ethiopia. So that took place at the Holy Trinity Cathedral Conference Hall in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. It was the
Okay,
hall to
okay.
the church, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. The big church
Yes.
is there, but there's a side hall to the church, so that's where that took place.
Okay,
So
okay.
I went there the second day, interact with the brothers and sisters who was there and the different CARICOM delegation, and I spoke at that gathering. You know,
Mm.
uh, I have the recording. Probably I don't know if I send it. I think I sent it to you. I think you have it. You just
Okay.
gotta go through it. I could send it
All
to you
right.
again, right?
All
So
right, no problem.
I spoke there in terms to reference. Uh, but the brothers and sisters, what I was saying that they have a lot of difficulty in doing business, not only in Ethiopia, but different African countries. It's difficult for brothers and sisters from the West in order to do business in Ethiopia and get certain things done from an official standpoint. For instance, you have like if you go to just like in CARICOM, what happened
Mm.
is that people from different CARICOM countries, say if you come from St. Vincent or in Jamaica, you get a 6 months, you could be here in the country for 6 months. And then what
Okay.
happens is that you will have to leave and come back again and get another
Come back
6 months.
again.
Yeah.
So
So
some
it's like
people
that.
go to like Kenya. Some people will go over to like Kenya and then come back in the Ethiopia from what I heard.
Yeah, basically you gotta go to the country and come back again. So you get
Yeah.
another additional 6 months.
Oh, okay, okay,
So it's
okay.
like that, it's like that in Africa. So what happened is
Mm.
that they were saying the difficulties they were going through, and they were saying that those barriers have to be broken down. And as time go on, they're gonna be broken down. You could see that.
So it's difficult for them to basically get their citizenship, full citizenship as, in Ethiopia then.
Well, in Ethiopia in particular, because what
Yeah.
happened is that I saw a video a couple years ago with the former Prime Minister of St. Vincent, Ralph Gonzalez, where
Yes.
he went to Ethiopia and he was putting it over to the representative at that time. It was a different Prime Minister at that time. And
Hmm.
what the brothers and sisters, especially from the Rastafari community, were saying is that they would like to get citizenship. But the laws in Ethiopia is different. You see, it's only indigenous Ethiopians who is really citizens, but even brothers
Yeah.
and sisters who get children now in Ethiopia, they don't, they're not citizens, but they don't, they have all the rights as a citizen. So there's no real barriers, but they're not official citizens because,
Officially, yeah.
yeah,
The
because of
parents.
Ethiopian laws, but you have the rights as just any other citizen in Ethiopia. And
Oh, okay.
like I was saying, the prime minister at that time, Ralph Gonzalez, he was asking the president, the prime minister at that time, to improve in that aspect in terms of making everybody legit in an official way. So I don't
Yeah.
know the position right now, but those barriers will be broken down in time to come.
True, 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 true. So you mentioned, that, the brothers and sisters there in Ethiopia, you actually went and you was able to meet with them, So how are
No, no,
the
before at
living?
the one at the church hall, you know,
Oh, okay.
the one at the church hall is second day when we was in Ethiopia, right?
So you didn't get to go to Shashamali itself
Yeah, yeah,
then?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna get to that. We're
Okay,
gonna get
okay, okay.
we're gonna get to that. I give you step by step.
All right, cool,
Yeah,
cool,
yeah, we're
cool,
gonna get
cool.
yeah, we're gonna get to that, right? So
All right.
and and the gathering in the church hall was real great because you met a lot of brothers and sisters. Even though some live in Shashamani and some live in probably in Addis Ababa and probably different parts of Ethiopia
Mm,
also. But what happened is that
mm.
gathering, because what happened after that gathering, the next day was the real gathering at the African Union, where both the African Union and the CARICOM Summit take place.
Take place. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So that was the
okay.
gathering before the heads of state gathering at the African Union.
So that was the
And
beginning of the African Summit then. The after that you went to the African Union.
no, when we went to the African Union, the gathering that we went to at the church hall was a
Uh-huh.
gathering before the actual African Summit.
Summit. Okay.
Yeah, you see what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Okay.
So what
All right.
happened? What happened basically is that at the church hall, we get to mingle and interact with different people because he had vendors there also, and he had
All right.
people.
All
Like I
right.
said, he had people there at the church hall who give in there. Like I said, the difficulties that they've been going through. And what happened is that at the summit itself, the brothers and sisters was not invited to go to the African summit because what happened was only heads of government and brothers and sisters from CARICOM, the delegation from CARICOM, and the delegation from the African Union at the African Summit. Because
Okay.
as a member of the Reparation Committee, only the heads of government could speak at the summit.
At the summit. Got you.
Yeah. But ordinary people could speak at the church hall.
At the church hall. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we interact with one another. So now, after that engagement, now, the next day was the African Summit. So we had to be there at the African Union around 8 o'clock in the morning. So
Okay.
basically we had to leave the hotel so around 7:30. And brother, I'm telling you, so the Prime Minister was cheering for CARICOM, right? Because what happened is that he was the chairman for CARICOM at the African Union at the summit, and the president of Angola was cheering for the African Union.
Union.
And my
Okay.
brother, we was escorted to the African Union in grand style in terms of
So,
outriders. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Because through the prime minister was the cheering. You know, we had a special entourage going to the African
entourage.
Union.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could
You know what I'm
imagine.
saying?
I could
Yeah, so
imagine.
we had outriders, the motorbikes and stuff. Man, it was
Yes.
great. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So
Yes,
we
sir.
went
Yes,
in
sir.
grand style, and we was
Yes, sir.
welcome to the African Union in grand style, my brethren,
Mhm.
and it was a great experience for
So,
me in particular and in general, you know, being there at the African Union in Addis Ababa, where, His Majesty is the one who basically put the headquarters in Addis Ababa, and Addis Ababa, it means new flower, you know. And I'm telling you, brother, Addis Ababa is like any other city, whether it is New York, Paris, London, wherever you go in Babylon. Addis Ababa is beautiful and a lot of development is taking place in Addis
Oh,
Ababa.
yes,
Buildings going up
yes, yeah.
all over the place, my brethren.
Yeah, man.
It's a beautiful city, you know.
Yes,
But
sir.
back to the African Summit now. So at the African Summit, you know, all the representatives was there from the African Union and CARICOM, right? And like I said, the Prime Minister was the chair for CARICOM, and the President of Angola was the chair for the African Union. And the deliberation started, you know what I mean? And my brother tell you it was a joy because you could see it's on YouTube, yeah.
Yes.
You ever see it?
No, not exactly. No, I
Yeah,
haven't
but
seen it as yet.
yeah, but I'm gonna send you the link because I think I have it somewhere, you know.
Okay.
And what happened is that you had the opening, and then you have I think it was the president, the prime minister of Ethiopia, right?
Uh-huh.
Welcome us, my brethren. He said, "Welcome home."
Mm.
Abi Ali, his name is Abi Ali, right?
Yeah,
He
I think I did
welcome,
see clips of that. Yes.
yeah, he welcome us home to Ethiopia and Addis Ababa, my brother. And
Mm.
all the delegation from the African Union, they welcome us home, you know. And brother, it was a joy to be in Mandela Hall at the
Wow.
African Union to see the deliberation back and forth, you know what I mean? It was a joy.
Mm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, after that African summit, I mean, after that day, you went back to your hotel, you rested. What was on the itinerary? What was on the agenda for the following day?
Shashamani.
Aye, that is it. That is it.
Yeah, but
That is it.
before we go there, man, I gotta give you
Uh-huh.
some more information
Okay.
about in when there was a period at the session at the conference where you know there was a breaking period, you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Where you could have mingle and talk and stuff like that to people. You know, it's just like a period where all the deliberation just ceased for
Yeah.
a time. So you know you get people to mingle and stuff like that.
Okay.
And being there, I saw the delegation from Zimbabwe. Now we have direct links with Zimbabwe, December 12th movement. So I introduced myself to the representative from Zimbabwe. So I
Mhm.
told him basically I'm a member of the December 12th movement, right? From the time I told him that, he knew who I was. You know,
Gotcha.
because we have direct links with the government of Zimbabwe. You know,
Mm.
every 6 months, brothers and sisters from the December 12th movement, we travel back and forth to Zimbabwe. We take place in the party conferences and stuff like that. So when I introduced myself to him, he knew exactly from the time I told him, Brother Omowali, Brother
Yeah.
Coltrane Tumuranga, Sister Viola Plummer, you know, and we talked. And then while being there, a brother from Niger approached me because he said I was dressed basically in Ethiopian garb. So a lot of
Okay.
Ethiopians was fascinated. My top, was Ethiopian, with the Ethiopian
Mm.
colors and stuff like that. And Ethiopians, they was fascinated the way how I was dressed, and Chuminati all the way down,
Oh,
they was
yes.
taking
Yes,
pictures with me
sir.
left and right. So this brother from Niger, he approached me and he told me he from Niger because Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali,
Mali.
there wasn't there officially, but he
Mm.
had people from Niger was there. So the brother approached me and we talked, And I told him basically that brothers and sisters in the West, we want our citizenship for the Sahel states. He said, brother, don't worry about that, man. We'll take care of that. We exchange
Sure.
business cards, you know. So I have his link and everything. So, you know, I mean, it was a
Mm.
joy, brother. You know, interacting with brothers and sisters from the continent, you know, because you see
Same.
basically that, you know, the CARICOM delegation, man, they was fascinated by I and I. I'm telling you,
Mm.
they was fascinated by us. And you could see basically, you know, we are the same people because I'm going to give you a story now. The president of Kenya, William Ruto, right? He looked exactly like a brother. He was from the St. Vincent, no, I think he was from the St. Lucia delegation. Yeah, he was from the St.
Mm.
Lucia delegation. Brother Kaya, they look exactly alike.
Same
They look,
people.
they, they look exactly
Yeah,
alike.
well.
The only difference is that President Ruto have more body on him
Mm.
in terms of physique. He's a little more stockier than the brother, but they look exactly alike. I saw the brother in the hotel lobby before we went to the summit, and I told him, I said, brother, you look like William Ruto. And he said to me, everybody's telling me that. So just to show you,
Yes, sir.
a
Yes,
brother
sir.
from the Caribbean and one from the continent, it look exactly alike.
That,
You know,
so we are the same people,
same
same
people.
exact people we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's a
So,
good,
brother,
good
I tell you,
experience there, you know. That's a good
that
experience
experience
there.
was fascinating, my
I'm
lad.
telling you.
Fascinating. I tell you.
Yes, sir. I know. I know that I live with you forever and ever. You know what I mean? Trust
Yeah,
me.
man, definitely,
Yes,
you know.
sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So now the next day
Oh.
was Shashamani. You
Uh-huh.
know, we got up early as
Yeah.
usual because we had to take a plane from Addis Ababa.
Okay.
You gotta go by plane. So we had to get up early in the morning. All the delegations from CARICOM was on the
Mm,
plane, and we went to Shashamani. You understand?
mm,
And I'm telling you, my brother, going to Shashamani, we had a royal welcome when we reached to Shashamani. Red carpet. You hear what me tell the
wow.
eye? Man,
Wow.
they greeted us in grand style. You
Wow.
know, and even at the summit in at the African Union. They greeted us in grand style, my brother. You know?
True,
And
true, true,
you
true.
could point out the different pictures them to you in Shashamani because you have them to show you how they
Yes.
welcome us. You had men on one
Okay.
side and sisters on the other side. They greeted us in grand style, my brother. Royally.
Mm,
Yeah, man.
mm,
You
mm.
know,
Good.
all the officials in
Yeah, I
Shashamane,
saw it with some of the pictures and the videos that you sent time, man. I
yeah,
saw it.
man.
Yes, sir.
Royally,
Yes,
they
sir.
welcome us, man. Royally.
Yes, sir. And so that was from the Shashamali, the people them in Shashamali itself, the
Yeah,
Ethiopians, the
exactly.
indigenous Ethiopians of
Yeah, the
Shashamali.
Ethiopians who live in Shashamane and
True, true.
brothers and sisters from the diaspora who live in Shashamane. They met us at the airport.
Okay. So where are some of the different places now in Shashamali the delegation went to?
Well, from there, what happened? We went on buses. We had
Okay.
different buses that we board and we drive to Shashamane, the main
Oh,
part in Shashamane where the brothers and sisters where they live. And we went to a main hall where we had a gathering and met the brothers
okay.
and sisters there in Shashamane. And it was like
Sure.
a convoy, you know, heading to the hall. So we had a
Yeah,
long drive
yeah.
even from the airport. And heading there,
Wow.
everybody just come in because they could see it was like a motorcade style.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we was heading to the hall and Ethiopians and different people who lives in that part,
See that
coming
it
out
was a convoy and they came to the main street and
to
we
see.
was waving at them and they waving
Waving,
at
yeah,
us, going to the main
yeah,
hall. And you see the different
true, true.
animals, the cattle, everybody live there, my brethren, everything, everybody mingling amongst cattle, goats, sheep, everything right there.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And I tell you, but it
yes,
was
sir.
a glorious, it was glorious, it was a glorious experience to see, how the people them coming and watching the convoy. And I tell you, my brethren, you see, what you call, I see basically the vast amount of agriculture and farming that is taking place. You just see corn, fields and
Mm,
fields of corn, my brethren. You understand?
okay.
It was a glorious experience, I tell you, man, on the mountain land. We see lakes. When you're taking them
Mm,
to something like probably this is a lake, you're passing by. You see what I say? Man,
yes, sir.
Ethiopia
Yes,
is
sir.
beautiful, my brethren. Ethiopia is God.
Was you fortunate to partake in any of the coffee ceremonies that they have also?
You know what happened? They gave us bags of coffee.
Okay, okay, but you didn't partake in the ceremony because they usually have a ceremony where they pound it, they roast it, they do all
Yeah,
of
no,
that
no,
in
no.
front
We
of you.
had it. What
Yeah.
they gave us bags of coffee.
Okay, okay, okay,
I have the
okay.
bags of me. I
Got
have
you.
them too. Yeah, bags of coffee.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, all the
Mm,
delegations them get coffee.
see. Yes,
Ethiopian
sir.
coffee.
So
Yeah, man.
what are some of the other stuff that you did in Shashamani when you was there? Did you get to
Well,
meet the Rastafari community itself?
yeah, man. That's why we went to the hall. When we went to the
Okay.
hall in Shashamani, the main hall, right? All the
Mm,
Rastafarian virgins them was there. And you could see
okay.
the pictures them is there,
Yes,
you
sir.
know? Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes.
it was a glorious experience, my brethren. And not only
Yes,
that,
sir.
when I went to the hall, I met a brother, a Rasta man. He's either from Guyana or I think he's from Guyana. He's an Indian Ras.
Mm.
I knew him in Brooklyn.
Okay. See.
Yeah. And
So
I
you met
didn't recognize
familiar
him. He recognized me? He
you met
approached me and
familiar
said,
individuals that you knew then.
yeah.
Yes,
Because what
sir.
happened the last time, no, 20, I think it was 2017 or something, 2016 when I was in New York. He was
Mm.
in New York at the same time and he told me that he lives in Africa,
Oh,
right?
okay, okay,
So when I
okay.
went to Shashamani, when we went to the main hall, he approached me and he said, you don't recognize me? I said,
Mm.
no. He said, man, we used to link in Brooklyn.
See.
You know what I mean? You will see the picture with him. I think he have on a pink outfit.
Okay, I'm gonna look
You know,
for it and
I will
definitely put that
direct you
in.
which one of the pictures. You
I'm gonna
know?
look for it.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
sir.
tell the other brothers them. He said, man, I know this man in Brooklyn. We
Mm.
used to link in Brooklyn, yeah, man. You know?
See.
And then
So
from there, after, yeah, go ahead.
we have like a 15 more minutes before we wrap up because
Uh-huh.
it's an hour long.
Yeah.
So tell me about like some other places. Did you different places other than Shashamali? Did you go to any other place? As
No,
a delegation thing.
we really had the time.
Oh,
You
okay,
see, we
okay,
really had
okay,
the time.
okay.
So because okay, I'm gonna get to that, but when when we left the main hall where the gathering was, we went to another gathering here
Uh-huh.
in Shashamani. Because I think perhaps
Okay.
you have the Bobo, they got the
Uh-huh.
section 12 tribes, and you got
Bingy.
Nyabingi. But I think the
Okay.
one we went to was the 12 tribes.
Okay.
So we went there, we had to drive there again by buses. And then,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, and people spoke there and stuff like that. And even at the
Hmm.
gathering, people spoke there also, like the officials from Ethiopia and stuff like that from the region in Shashamani. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So you had people.
I thought all the races was together. I didn't know that they had, like a little separation amongst them, like
No,
in
it seemed
terms of
that's the way it seemed
regions.
to me. That's the way it seemed to me.
Oh, okay,
You
okay,
know,
okay, okay,
because time was
okay.
against us, so we really had the time too. You know what I mean? But like I
To
said,
mingle.
yeah, at the main hall, and then when we leave the main hall, all the races them at the main hall, and then you still had other races at the other site that we went.
Mm,
You understand?
yeah.
So, but
Well,
it
I mean, I
seemed
could
to me,
imagine that Shashamane is a big place. You know
oh,
what I mean?
definitely.
So, yeah, more than likely you'll have, people spread out. You know what I mean?
Mm. So
Yeah, so,
you're familiar with Brother Desmond Trotter from Dominica?
yes,
You ever
sir.
heard of him?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I met him at the main hall in
Mm,
Shashamani, and we spoke, and
okay.
I'm gonna show you which picture is him. You know what I mean? So, like I said, at the main hall, we interact. And when we went to the other session, I think that was the 12 tribe session, we also mingle and interact, and he had speakers at both forums, you know.
Okay,
So it
okay,
was a real
okay.
good experience. And then when we left that now, we drive back the delegation, then we drive back to the airport, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the airport, when we drive back to the airport again, at that day I was supposed to go to His Imperial Majesty Palace because on the day before the summit, I skipped that.
Oh, okay.
The prime ministers and the heads of delegation, they went to his Imperial Majesty Palace in Addis Ababa. No, a museum. The prime minister went there, and the foreign minister, uh, Dr. Terence Shaw, the prime minister, and the foreign minister, Dr. Denzel Douglas, and other dignitaries from CARICOM. They went to His Imperial Majesty Palace, and they
Mhm.
took pictures there, and they went different paths. Now, the prime minister insisted that I have to go to the palace before we leave Ethiopia. So,
Mm.
on our way back from Shashamani, I was supposed to go to the palace. But what happened is that on our way back to Addis Ababa, on the plane, he had bad weather. So
Okay.
the plane had to detour and go to a different airport, refuel, and then head back to Addis Ababa because he had bad weather. Because, for instance, from the time we reached Ethiopia, it was raining. It rained every day.
Yeah, that's the rainy season. That's the rainy
Yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was raining. So what happened is that on our way back from Shashamani to Addis Ababa, for me, I was supposed to go to His Imperial Majesty Palace. But because of the weather, the plane had to detour, so time elapsed, and then refuel, and then after the weather change, we head back to Ethiopia. So to Addis Ababa. So when I reached back to Addis Ababa, it was too late for me to go to His Imperial Majesty Palace. So
Okay.
I didn't get to go there. But the Prime Minister
Gotcha.
insisted that I go there. He really
Yeah.
wanted me to go to the palace. But I couldn't make
Mm.
it because of the weather.
Because of the weather. Yes,
Yeah, man.
sir. Yeah, man. So, did you get to how about the food? How did you enjoy the food in Jera and you know what I mean? Because you know that in Ethiopia they eat a bit different to I and I over here in the West, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
how you
definitely.
enjoy the cuisine of Ethiopia?
Well, the first day when we went to the African Union, when we had lunch here, it's buffet
Mm.
style. So you got both.
Okay.
You could choose whatever you want because you got vegetarian and you got whatever else you want to eat. So you could choose what you want to eat. So both
Okay.
the first day when we went to the African Union and when we went to Shashamani, it was buffet style. You choose but I'm a vegetarian, so I just choose vegetarian food. Uh
Yeah.
at the summit, after the summit, was the same thing. Buffet style, you choose what you want to eat. When we went to
Mm.
Shashamani, the same thing. But the Ethiopians, them, you're talking about the food. You see how they eat, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
The
Yes, sir.
injury and everything. Ah, that was there.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I myself, I'm a foodie, so I've been to many Ethiopian restaurants, not only here in New York, but in North Carolina, where I was also. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay.
And trust me,
Because I've been to
yeah,
one
the
in New
Ethiopians.
York in Harlem, yeah.
Yeah, actually, I've been to the one here in Harlem. They have one
Yeah,
on
yeah, I've been there. I've been there.
135th,
Yeah.
and I think they have one over here on Frederick Douglass, someplace Boulevard over
Okay.
there, on 116, someplace over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
I've been to the
But
one,
the
but I think at that time was only one in Harlem. So I've been to that one.
Oh, okay, okay,
Up in
okay,
like
okay. Yeah.
Washington Heights or somewhere up there.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I've been to that one.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah, I've been to that one.
Yeah, man. So we have 5 more minutes left. So in you wrapping up, just tell us, some other stuff. You know what I mean? And you could leave some words saying where to, with I listeners saying where to, and just wrap up, and
Yeah, well,
basically.
brother Kaya, it's great that we did this program basically because
Sure.
I'm saying to our people in the real sense that Africa is the future. Ethiopia is beautiful, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And like I said, we ain't really get to go a lot of different places because I got the good and the bad in everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you could see basically like in Ethiopia in particular, even going to Shashamani, you could see the development that is taking place, but the funding is not there. You understand what I'm
Mm.
trying to show you? You could see. I mean, you see scaffolds where they're trying to build things in Shashamani, where, you know what I mean? Stories and stories, man. You could see it.
Same.
You know what I mean? And I tell you, brother, it's a joy. I'm telling you, to see what is taking place in Ethiopia. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And and you know about the Grand Renaissance Dam.
Yes, yes, yes. I
Okay,
know
good.
about that now. Yeah.
It opened when we was in Ethiopia. The prime minister was supposed to go to the opening, but the day when the prime minister opened the dam, right?
Mhm.
We had to leave on that day. We was
Okay.
on our
So you
way.
didn't.
He didn't get to go, but
Yeah.
we was invited. We was invited to go to the opening, but we couldn't go. You know. And I'm telling you, it's Ethiopia funded the Grand Renaissance Dam here.
True,
People
true.
even put,
Yes, I started.
yeah, even people put up even a dollar. You understand? Was no foreign investment. And the
Yeah, I
Grand
read the
Renaissance,
reports.
yeah, the Grand Renaissance Dam could give energy to the whole of Eastern Africa
Eastern Africa, yeah.
and further
Yeah,
afield.
man. True, true.
You know?
Yeah, it's a
So,
massive, massive, massive project that they was undertaking that definitely, it
yeah,
come to
man.
fruition. Yeah,
And
man.
when we
Yeah.
went to Shashamani, you see brothers and sisters, you see the huts, because when we're traveling, you see
Mm,
the huts them in people where they live and stuff like that. So you go from
same. Yeah.
Addis Ababa in the city to the rural
Uh-huh.
areas where the ordinary folks live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just a joy, my brethren, to see the diversity,
True.
especially in the people in Ethiopia also. The different people how
Mm,
they look. You know what I'm saying? Because you will see
yes.
people in Ethiopia who you will say, but he don't look like African, but we are Africans.
All Africa. We
We
come in
are,
all
you
kind
know,
of
beside
shade.
how diverse African
True.
people are.
We
And
are,
you see
definitely.
that in Ethiopia in grand style.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
man.
know. So
Yes, Kalonji.
I just saying to our people that it's time for African people to unite.
True.
And Babylon is showing
And
us that.
we can, your visit even, bridging a gap where we could even forge more links between, us here in the Western Hemisphere and, them over there in Ethiopia, same way too, you know what I mean? And as we know, the world is getting smaller, through technology, so we could actually see with one another and, just be more cohesive in our actions as Rastafari, Yes,
Not
sir.
only that, we're talking about the technology and the development.
Mhm.
Is that we could interact with one another, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just everything is at our fingertips now. So I'm
True.
saying to you, I traveling to Ethiopia, I see the potential, my brother, that
Mm,
if we truly unite in a Pan-African way, Babylon done. You could
that
see
is
it.
it.
I mean, at the summit, you could see it, my brother. Because if you step
Mm,
in the Africa Hall, Mandela Hall, where the summit took place, you can't tell the difference between us from the West and them on the continent.
right?
Just to
That's
show
a,
you.
that's a, that's a
And I
great
told,
point you bring up in. That's a great
yeah,
point because right now they have a reasonment over here in America. Ones and ones want to be quote unquote indigenous
yeah,
Americans.
I see.
Some
That's a
saying,
fact.
that slavery never took place. There ain't no records of no slave ship. Different things like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, look,
to
let me
show,
tell you about that because I see. It's Babylon fun in that, you know,
say it,
to create
say
more
it.
confusion among us. It's
Confusion.
Babylon
Yes,
fun in
I.
that. What they call FBA, Foundational Black Americans or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, when I
yeah.
was there, when I was in New York, that was never an issue.
Hmm,
And even in the
hmm,
circles where I travel, in the conscious movement, that was never an issue amongst conscious people in the struggle.
true,
So I don't
true.
know where that come from.
And, I want to confirm this with you now. I have you here. It was you and I who went into government house and we went into the archives, and we saw the manifesto of the indigenous people, I and I people, with one name that they used to give I and I when we come off. You know what I mean? And all the different things that we went through, So these is arguments for another program still, you know what I mean? But there's a
True,
lot, a
true.
lot, a lot of things for I and I to talk about,
Yeah, yeah,
But
man. But what happening now,
yes, sir.
before we go, Brother Kaya,
Mm,
what happening now, I am in the process of developing the movement for national unity here in the Federation.
mm,
Because
see,
I see the need for our people to unite. This old colonial politics that we inherited, is just driving a wedge to our people. You know that the prime minister had to accept, and all the prime ministers, they signed an MOU with the United States in terms of accepting deportees.
yeah, I saw that,
This
I
was
saw that.
this was dictated from the imperial court. I know that. You understand? A lot of things you see that our country and our prime ministers have to accept. I understand why they have to accept it. I don't agree with it, but I understand because the situation that we in. And
Mm,
basically, brother, the same thing I know, the prime minister knows it. Because me and he go way back. But we in a position where we have no choice, right?
true.
But my position is now, how do we get out of the situation that we are in? So that is what I'm organizing about, creating the movement for national unity, where our people speak with one voice
Mm,
on any issue, because we are divided. We need to develop. What I'm engaging is developing up a national consciousness amongst our people, where we speak with one voice. As we say, what Granny said,
true.
love one another. What Granny said, respect one another. What Granny said, buy local. What Granny said, support your own. What Granny says, plant weed for the cannabis industry. What Granny said,
That is it.
Pan-Africanism, revolutionary Pan-Africanism is the only solution to this pollution. So that's why I'm engaging, you know.
Yes, sir.
So we're
Yes,
building the
sir.
movement for national unity because we got to build a movement for national unity, not only here, but in the OECS, in CARICOM, and the global Pan-African diaspora to bring our people together as a unified force, as what Brother Malcolm X wanted to do when he came back from Africa on his last trip to Africa. So that's what we engage in doing the work for really true liberation of our people, because the imperialist forces, the fascist forces, colonialism, as Eric Prince said, they're going to recolonize us, and we're saying that it's not going to happen. And the brothers and sisters in Haiti, you know, this being the 222nd anniversary of the Haitian Revolution, this also being 2026, the 400th anniversary of the genocide of the native people here in St.Kitts and Nevis, where the French and the English stop a war that they was fighting amongst themselves and engage in liquidating the indigenous population. 2026 is also the first time where we see documented evidence of Africans being brought to the shores of Lyamiga and Uoli, St. Kitts and Nevis. 1626.
1626.
Yes, 1626. So this is 2026. That's the first documentation we see officially of Africans being brought to the shores of St. Kitts and Nevis.
St. Kitts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You understand?
But with that
This is
said,
also the
Kalonji,
100. Huh?
now I was saying, with that said, you could round it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, basically, this is also the 130th anniversary of the Portuguese uprising, the Nevis uprising. And this is the 91st anniversary of the Buckley's uprising, which we commemorated yesterday.
28.
Yeah,
On the
the
28th.
28th. Yeah, yeah. And the Portuguese one is done in February. I can't remember the date. So I was at the ceremony. I don't know if you see anything on Facebook. I
No,
haven't
I ain't seen it as yet. I haven't seen it as yet.
Yeah, I spoke there yesterday.
Okay.
You know. So like
And
I said,
where
we
did they
have a
have
lot
the
of work.
ceremony?
Huh?
Where did they have the ceremony? At Buckley's?
At Buckley's, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Right, basically where the uprising took place.
Oh, it took place. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah,
So,
man.
like I'm saying, we have a lot of work to do, brother. You know?
Yes, sir.
And we engage now in organizing our people, and we're doing it basically through history, sharing the history, because our people don't know our history here in the Federation. So what we're doing, we're bringing people together to study our history, because when you have a clear understanding of our history, we could chart a course that will truly liberate our people. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
sir.
the work is continuing.
That is it. So we're going to definitely have some more programs coming forward, you know, with the Honorable Ras Kalonji as the IMC. He's very knowledgeable, you know, about world affairs. You know, he's very knowledgeable about the Rastafari community, same way too, and passionate also, you know, about I, you know, Pan-Africanism and just Black identity. So I want to give thanks, you know, Ras Kalonji, for coming forward, you know, and in even enlightening I about your visit, your trip to Ethiopia. What was it like? And just giving a full, you know, full experience to I who wasn't there, you know what I mean? So give thanks, enough gratitude, yes, my love.
Yes,
Peace and love, you know?
and I just want to big up the Sahel states. I forgot that. Brother
Yes,
Abraham
sir.
Choi, Brother Gaito, and Brother Tiani for blazing the trail for true revolutionary Pan-Africanism, because that is our model, you know? So I just have to big them up before we leave the set. And we send to our people freedom of death, you know, being back in back. And we say, we're going to fall in, because the African liberation struggle is in full flight. And we're saying, we ain't giving up to imperialism, fascism, colonialism. We're saying, death to all of that. We burn fire on that. And we're saying, liberation is certain.
No,
and we say straight ahead.
no. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So Ras
So give
Kalonji,
thanks.
do give thanks. You know, it was a pleasure and I full joy this moment, you know. And, you know, just look forward for some more reasoning from the Honorable Ras Kalonji and myself here at Data U Productions. We do give thanks, peace and love. Rastafari.
Give thanks, one love. And we say to all the brothers and sisters, them, time to join the movement, time to get organized.
Yes,
Rastafari.
sir. Blessings.
Yes, sir.